everyone, Caffeine Man here. Today I am going to be boosting up your brain powers because I am reviewing Crani-Yum energy drink coming right up. Hello again, everyone. Thank you so much for joining me today. I really do appreciate it. And in today's video, we're going over Crani-Yum energy drink. Big shout out and thank you to Crani-Yum for sending me these drinks in exchange for an honest review. I really do appreciate it. And truth be told, I have known about this company for a while. They have been out for a little while and they've slowly been growing. I first heard about them over a year ago from Energy Drink Josh. He says, hey, you might want to check these drinks out. But a lot of you might know that I am an energy drink snob. If you didn't know this, I actually made an entire video about it as to why I don't review some of the smaller energy drink companies. So even though Energy Drink Josh said, hey, you want me to send this to you? I said, you know what? I'm going to pass this time. And as time has gone on, the company's made a bigger name for itself. And just recently, I got this drink in my Energy Drink City mystery box. And there were a lot of new companies in this mystery box. I decided to taste out a few of the drinks. Crani-Yum was one of them that I tasted. And I was so impressed that I said I really liked it. And there was actually someone from Crani-Yum in my live stream offered to send the drinks. And I said, you know what? Go ahead. Send me the variety pack. I'd love to try all your drinks. And that's what we're doing today. So let's jump right into this. And of course, the first thing I wanted to go over was the nutrition facts. You're going to see that this only has 5 calories. It is a sugar-free energy drink. It has lots of zeros up there, as you can see. Only 1 carbohydrate, 20 milligrams of sodium. It doesn't have any of your common B vitamins like a lot of energy drinks do, but this isn't your standard energy drink. This is actually a nootropic energy drink. So let's take a look at the nootropic blend that they have in here. You're going to be getting 150 milligrams of natural caffeine. People loving their natural caffeine because it takes the body slightly longer to process. Therefore, you get a longer lasting energy out of it. You're going to be getting 400 milligrams of alpha GPC, which is known for helping out with cognitive function, as well as some physical benefits when you're working out. But you're also getting 300 milligrams of lion's mane, as well as 200 milligrams of L-theanine, both of which are great for focus, cognitive function, and lots of other brain health benefits, especially L-theanine. I am a huge fan of L-theanine as a nootropic due to its help for so many different mental functions. And you don't have to take my word for it, because in an article in 2019 in Elle magazine, Taylor Swift said she actually uses L-theanine to help with her stress and anxiety, which is just one of the benefits of L-theanine. It's great for mental focus, concentration, number skills, cognitive functions. And if Taylor Swift says it's good, who's gonna deny that? And not only that, but when it comes to these drinks right here, these Crani-Yum drinks, I heard that these drinks could make you a mastermind. Yep, and now they're all mine. It was all by design. Mastermind. And that's what you're hoping for from a good nootropic energy drink. You want to be a mastermind. You want to have good clarity. You want to have mental focus. And they're also giving you 1 gram of myo-inositol, which is a decent dosage. Typically, you get about 1 gram out of your diet throughout the day. Most people do. So having an extra gram of inositol, also good for a lot of mental health properties. So overall, a good nootropic blend, a nice amount of natural caffeine. The true test is, how do they taste? So let's taste them out. So we got 4 flavors to go over from Crani-Yum, but let's jump right in with the worst one, or what I think, my personal worst flavor profile, and that is going to be the grapefruit soda. I could go on and on talking about grapefruit, but I'm not gonna, because I got 4 drinks to taste out and I want to get these drinks to you right away. And we got ourselves a clear color. They don't use any artificial color, so if any of these drinks do have any color to them, it's probably going to be from fruit juices or vegetable juices or something along those lines. Get a little smell for the grapefruit flavor. Okay, not too potent in grapefruit smell. Definitely has a good citrus mix to it. So we're going to see if they're going straight on grapefruit or if we're going to be getting a citrus mix, maybe sort of a white kind of drink, like the, everyone says, oh, the White Monsters, White 3D, which is brand new on the market right now. Hope to review that soon. But a lot of your whites have a bunch of citrus mixes, and let's just taste it out. The can. So your carbonation, I think you get a medium carbonation out of this. I actually like the drinks that don't go too high with the carbonation. I think the medium feel gives you a little bit of a smoother feel. It doesn't make you all burpy and stuff. As for your sweetness, I do think you're actually getting a high amount of sweetness out of here. Now they do actually use sucralose in there. So sometimes you can get really, really sweet with sucralose, but sometimes you can get a little bit of a different sweetness out of there. So in addition to the sucralose, like I said, they are using myo-inositol, which is good for your mental health and brain functions. Thus the name of the company, Crani-Yum, being for your brain. But besides being good for your brain, inositol is actually also a sugar alcohol. Therefore, it is a natural sweetener. And I think it's bringing a different kind of sweetness to this drink that you don't typically get. And that sweetness, that's a unique sweetness, is also helping the flavor profile, because I think you're getting a high flavor profile on the low end of high. And I think you are getting a good overall citrus mix. I'm not getting much grapefruit out of there. I had to focus on that drink to say, is this grapefruit flavored? And I would say I have to focus really hard to say, yeah, I'm getting a little bit of grapefruit in there, but I do think it is a citrus blend to it. It really does remind me of the white flavors, but they are giving you an overall good citrus drink with the mix of a lot of different citruses. So you're not getting a lemon lime drink. You're just getting a mix of a blend of citrus, like a citrus blend where you can't even tell how much you're getting of each flavor. You're getting like a little lemon, a little lime, a little orange, a little grapefruit, a little of every citrus in there to make a nice citrus blend, and maybe a touch more grapefruit out of all of those to get you that grapefruit soda flavor. But it's actually a really good drink. I typically don't like grapefruit, as I already said, and even your citrus blends I'm not a huge fan of, but I think they did a good job with this one. I'm really enjoying it, and I think a lot of other people are gonna like it. I think that they made it good for everybody by not having too strong of any of the other flavors, but being able to taste that grapefruit a touch more. I think they did a good job. So let's go ahead, let's put it on the Caffeine Man rating chart. Because it is called grapefruit soda, I am going to put it on the grapefruit list that I have. The grapefruit list isn't overly large, so I am actually going to give this an 8.7, which puts it at the top of the grapefruit list, but I'm not sure if it's fair to put it on the grapefruit list because I do think that it is more of a citrus blend personally, in my own opinion, with grapefruit only being a touch more. Definitely not like those other grapefruits on that list, so even though it's the top of the grapefruit list here, I think it's more competitive to be on the citrus chart. So let's go ahead and take a look at the citruses, and these are your Arctic whites and your citruses and blended in there, and most of like your white flavors. So at an 8.7, it actually puts it pretty competitive with all those other ones as well. Crani-Yum up there fighting with the big boys. We're getting an 8.7 on grapefruit. I can only imagine where the other ones are going to score. Let's try out that Dr. Yum. Come and give me some of that yum. Here's the can. I'm holding the can right next to the microphone. I did not hear any kind of that normal pss sound. Like I heard the crack of the can, but there was just no carbonation. So these are light in carbonation. I'm curious how light this one's gonna be because I can't hear any fizzing. Whew, which I don't mind. Light carbonation, good for me. I like it. Although when you're thinking about a cola flavor like a Dr. Yum or something, you might want a little bit more carbonation. But I don't care. I just like the flavor. So let's go ahead. Let's taste it out. In the can. So for your carbonation, like I said, I wasn't hearing much carbonation on that can. This is a low to medium carbonation. So I haven't had many companies that go lower than medium. There have been a couple here and there, but in general, they tend to be a bit higher. I think that might be the more of a preference for a lot of people. Like I said, I like them a little bit lower, and this one is actually pretty low. It tastes almost like it's flat, but not flat in a bad way. It just tastes more like even more the way of like a juice would kind of go. And so it is very low. And actually, am I going to move it down to low? I might move it down to low. I mean, when you have to look at the ingredients to see if it has carbonated water, which it does, you know it's pretty low. And I'm gonna bump it down. I'm gonna move it down to low. This is a very low carbonation drink, which makes it extremely smooth. As for your sweetness, you are getting that same high amount of sweetness. I'm definitely a fan of the high sweetness because even though it's a high sweetness, it's not sickeningly sweet. It's a different kind of sweetness. So if you guys are looking for a different kind of sweetness, you might find it in this drink. In your flavor profile, I am also gonna say that it is high on the low end of high. And what's interesting about these drinks is that they are giving you a lot of flavor, but they also taste a little bit, they have a hint of this light and refreshing feel to them because of the smoothness. But then you get this sweetness that says, am I light and refreshing? With a solid flavor profile, making it overall pretty good drink, light and refreshing. For the flavor though, I don't really think it's a Dr. Pepper kind of drink. That's what everyone's saying, Dr. Yum, Dr. Pepper, comparing the two, but it definitely gives you a lot of cherry flavor in there. And it's a unique kind of cherry flavor flavor because it's not your typical cherry drink. A lot of people like their different cherry limes and things like that. I think that they might be giving you a hint, a tiny, 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 tiny hint of cola in there, but it's mostly sort of a cherry forward flavor, but not your cough syrupy cherry kind of flavor. But you're getting that cherry feel from a cherry cola flavor, and it's very interesting overall because I'm slightly, just slightly let down that it's not really like a Dr. Pepper flavor being called Dr. Yum, but I'm not mad about the flavor that I am getting because it is a unique kind of cherry flavor with that unique sweetness in there. So when we go ahead and look at the Caffeine Man rating chart, not sure where I'm going to put it. I'll probably put it on my cola list because that's the theme they're going with. Not getting much of a cola flavor out of it, but that cherry flavor is a good flavor. I'm going to give this one an 8.8. It's a touch higher than that grapefruit one. Looking forward to the next two. Wasn't sure which one to go with next because I already tried this one, the Blue Twist. So I'm like, you know what? I kind of already know what this one tastes like, so I'll let that last one be a surprise. Here's the can. Clear color. A lot more fizz to that one, and I haven't been doing the fancy pours and stuff because I knew that from this one that I had in my energy drink city box, it was lightly carbonated, so I didn't want people, oh, you're messing up the carbonation with the pour, which it doesn't. I say it in all my videos, it doesn't mess up the carbonation, but people are going to think what they want, they're going to say what they want. We'll see how carbonated, maybe it's more fizzy now because I did that special pour, maybe. Taste it out. Not going back from the can from this one because there's 4 of them. So for your carbonation, I do think we're at this medium level. It is still light and low in carbonation. It's a little bit higher than the other ones though. So you did see it fizzing up a bit more. You probably heard it too. So it does have a slight bit more carbonation to it, but still nothing like your other drinks. It is still pretty lightly carbonated compared to the other drinks out there. Sweetness, you're also getting a high sweetness. For this one, I'm going on the low end of high. And the reason for that is because the profile, flavor profile, is a high flavor profile, and I would say this one isn't on the low end of high like the other ones were. I think it's giving you a little bit more flavor, and you're getting a decent amount of lime out of there, and I think that citrusy lime flavor is pulling back on that sweetness just a touch, but it still has a nice solid amount of sweetness, and that flavor is a really good flavor. I am glad that I'm so happy. Thank you to Crani-Yum for sending me these drinks in exchange for an honest review. The one that I had in my energy drink city box, I had put the whole entire mystery box into the freezer, and I only did it like 45 minutes ahead of time, which is usually enough for like one can, but for the whole entire box, it wasn't long enough to get it cold enough. And then I had it in here. I was doing my live stream. I was chit-chatting for a half hour to an hour, probably before I drank it. So when I drank it, it wasn't completely cold. And if you guys know, if you didn't know, now you'll know. You gotta drink all your energy drinks cold. I don't care what anybody tells you. They're like, you can drink this one warm, you can drink. No. You don't want to think that you can drink them warm. There might be 1 or 2, and there are, but I'm not going to talk about those because I don't want you to do it. I want you to always drink all your energy drinks cold because that's the way you're going to get the best flavor out of them. And this is cold, and I'm liking it better than I did in my live stream. And it was my live stream that I said, wow, this is really good. I want to try them. So if they were good back then in the live stream when they were warm, are they good now? It's really good. But you're getting a very good mix out of here. I would say you're probably getting a good 50-50 mix of the blue raspberry and lime. No, I'm going to go back on that. I'm going to go in one more time. I'm going to go ahead and say a 60-40 split, with that 60 being lime. I think that lime is a little bit stronger than the blue raspberry flavor, and I think that the lime is also on the back end. So when you first drink it, you get a nice blue ras lime flavor, and while you're tasting that blue ras flavor, it starts to subside on the back end, and on the back end, you're still getting more lime flavor. And even now, at the end of it all, I haven't had any for at least a couple seconds. I'm still getting that lime aftertaste, so I think it's a little bit more lime forward. If you guys are looking for a good lime energy drink, you're going to get a nice complementary blue ras flavor to this lime. I think they did a really great job with it, and it definitely reminds me, if you guys are missing your 3D Galaxy lime, I know a lot of you, when you did try it, because a lot of people didn't know about it, it was sort of at the tail end of 3D's career with Congo. I think the Galaxy lime and the Candy Blast were like the last 2 new flavors they came out with, but the people that did try it liked it, and now it's gone. Now you have a replacement. You got Crani-Yum Blue Twist. Really enjoying it. I know that the 3D, if we look at the Caffeine Man rating chart, let's take a look at it. I know that the 3D got a 9.0, and I think this is right up there with it. I am also going to give this a 9.0 because I think it's just as good as the 3D one. And what's even better is that it has better nootropics and a better nootropic blend of ingredients than the 3D drinks. Not to say anything bad about the 3D drinks. The 3D drinks are still good, but I also like something that has nootropics in it. 9.0. Let's get to this last one. Last up, we got the Melon Crisp. Like the little pictures on there because I wouldn't have thought anything from Melon Crisp. I thought it was a watermelon, but they also have pictures of grapes on there. And as of recently, maybe the last year or so, my wife's been buying the Autumn Crisp grapes, which I didn't know were a thing. So apparently there's grapes named Crisp. So we got ourselves a Melon Crisp here, which is a watermelon grape flavor. And like I said, there's only been one other company that's done a watermelon grape flavor, and I was pretty impressed by it. I don't overly like grape drinks, so to get a complimentary watermelon grape flavor was pretty interesting. So I am curious how this one is going to stand up to the other one. Let's taste it out. Get a little splashy at the end there, a little carried away. Clear color. Let's taste it out. Okay. Carbonation, we are back down to that low amount of low to medium, right in that 2 category that I put up there. Glad I had that little chart there for you. Very helpful to a lot of people. Making it a very smooth drink. For your sweetness, we are up to that high amount of sweetness as well. Definitely liking that new kind of sweetness that I'm getting. Not just that sucralose, but that inositol sweetness. And for your flavor profile, I am also going to give it a high flavor profile on the low end of high. And a lot of these drinks are going the way of light and refreshing, but still a solid flavor profile. And I've always been saying that even though something's light and refreshing, I take that into consideration as a flavor profile because the Caffeine Man rating chart is based on flavor alone. But even though something isn't necessarily punching you in the face with, ooh, that's got some flavor to it, you can get something that has a solid amount of flavor and still be light and refreshing as a good flavor. You're like, wow, that is light and refreshing. That itself is almost a flavor of its own. I want to make an energy drink and I want to call it light and refreshing. That's what I want it to be. I want to get rid of all the other fruity stuff and all the other soda-y stuff and all that other stuff. And I just want it to be light and refreshing so that when someone drinks it, they say, you know what? That drink is light and refreshing. I don't know what the flavor is. That's the flavor. That's going to be my next goal in life, is to make light and refreshing. Go ahead, try and steal that, Ghost and everybody else that steals my ideas out there. Red Bull making sugar-free energy drinks all the time because Caffeine Man suggested it. I asked for 1% of the commission. Did they give it to me? No. Everybody stealing my ideas. Go ahead and make a light and refreshing drink. I won't even complain about it. I'll be happy that you made that accomplishment. What am I talking about? 4 drinks in and I am just off the rails here. So, light and refreshing drink. Did I put it on the chart yet? I don't even know what I'm talking about. Do you guys want to know what it tastes like? I don't know. It's actually a solid watermelon flavor and a solid grape flavor, which I think is what I was saying already, that it's a solid flavor, but it's light and refreshing. What flavors are you getting more? Let's drink some more. Why not, right? I think the watermelon flavor that you're getting is a light candied flavor. I don't think it's going the way of natural watermelon, but it's light enough of a candied flavor where it's not tasting sickly sweet like that candy flavor. You're getting basically sort of an artificial watermelon flavor, but not too potent for you to be like, oh, that's kind of fake watermelon. No, it's a watermelon drink, and it's complemented by a decent amount of that autumn crisp flavor. And when you think grape, I usually always think purple when I think grape. You know, that's just in my head for some reason. When I think grape, I think purple. When I think Welch's Ghost Grape, I think purple. Whenever I see a can of purple energy drink, I'm like, oh, that's grape. This doesn't actually taste like that purple grape flavor, and maybe it's subconscious. Maybe my brain knew because it's crisp. It's the green ones, and the autumn crisp grapes are green. You're kind of getting that green grape flavor from it, which is very interesting because I'm always thinking the purple grape, but I am getting that autumn crisp grape out of here, and it's a really good flavor. And I think it's because I've been eating the autumn crisps a lot more recently. I'm really able to taste that they're doing that in that drink, and it's really good. I'm really enjoying it. So on the Caffeine Man rating chart, I'm actually going to give this a 9.3. Yes, Crani-Yum hitting the 9.3 area. Whew. Feeling pretty focused right now too, though. I'm focusing on getting this review done, so I might have gone off the rails a little bit, but that's the caffeine bringing out that Caffeine Man personality. The Crani-Yum is having me focusing right there, right at you guys, focusing right there, right at you guys. Bam! Right there. Right there. Bam. Yeah, not sure how focused I am. If you're looking to pick these drinks up on your own, you can check out the Crani-Yum website. They have each one of these flavors in an individual case. They also have a variety pack case. A lot of people loving their variety packs, so you can actually get a variety pack from them. If you're someone who doesn't even like buying variety pack cases, like you don't like buying full cases without knowing the flavor, variety packs are appealing to you. You can also check out Energy Drink City. Energy Drink City lets you mix and match whatever cans you want. So if you're like, I don't care if Caffeine Man said that grapefruit isn't like a regular grapefruit. I'm not into citrus, but I want to try those other 3 flavors. You can buy just the other 3 flavors with a bunch of other energy drinks that Energy Drink City has. You can save 10% off with coupon code Caffeine Man. Highly recommend you trying them out at least just once so you can tell for yourself if you like them. If you want to check out some similar flavors to these flavors, you can check out my review I recently did on 3D. They recently rebranded their company. All the details in that video. And if you want to see all of my favorite energy drinks, you can check out that playlist right there. Top 10, top 20s galore for you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. Really do appreciate it, and until next time, have yourselves a great day or night.